Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to see you here. We've got so much fun stuff coming. We're going to do 2 cards. They are so cute from the new release. We're going to be looking at butterflies. Don't worry, I'll show them overhead for you as well. But we are going to be looking at watercolor. And I know if you're like me with watercolor, you're always like, I don't know if I can do this. So today I just took the easiest watercolor you could possibly do, and we're gonna make some amazing stuff. So it's gonna be lots of fun. We'll use some embossing folders to do extra things. I love watercolor paper and embossing folders. It looks so good. So we're gonna add lots of fun details. I see lots of you popping in, which is very exciting, and we're gonna have an exclusive coupon for Maltanu. So stay tuned. Let me put you on the overhead camera so you can look at these cards a little bit better. Let me go here and pop my face up. Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at primarily today. I do have a secret card, not really secret, but a finishing of a card, which I'm sorry, I've got allergies. A finishing of a card that we did yesterday. So yesterday, for the first time ever, I went live on Instagram, and I think it also went onto Facebook. It looks like a reel, but it's a live stream of like an hour and a half. And we made the beautiful Sakura blossoms. So we're gonna see if we get through all of these. We're gonna try to put this onto a card as well. And if you didn't see that live, it's on Instagram. I'm Nicki Hearts Cards, and you can go see that on Instagram and Facebook. These butterflies are adorable. Let me show you what we're gonna use, because this set is super awesome and it makes so much fun stuff. So we're gonna use the new Creative Cuts. It's called Zero Waste Fluttering Fantasies. Is that right? Yeah, make sure I got that right. And it's a really big set. So see how this is an A2 size? This is more like a 5x7 size. And then these are separate for the little middles of the butterflies. Yeah, watercolor has always been, Judy, one of those things for me that I'm just like trying to embrace and get better at, but I also think that just doing it in a simple way is perfectly fine. So with these butterflies, you have so many different shapes, and we can layer them and make endless options here. So we're going to start with our watercolor, because we're going to need to let that dry just a little bit. And we're going to do this with a set. If you have a really big brush, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest a really large brush like this. I mean, we're just gonna swipe on color. We're gonna keep it super easy. So it's gonna be really awesome. So we will play with this. This is the only brush that I'm gonna use. And I've got a little bit of water. Let me grab a piece of watercolor paper. The other thing I was going to show y'all while I'm getting my supplies ready, let me show you some of the recent cards that I made. If you haven't seen these, you may just want to look at them because they have the new release. So this one I did, this is actually older products. These are from last release, which was Leafscape. And then I used those arches dies and stamps and made a circle instead of an arch. I was kind of proud of that, I'm just going to say. So this was in a recent stamp wheel reel that I wanted to show how you can do these fun things. Then I have a new video out on the clear paste. So don't miss that on my channel. I made 2 masculine cards in that video. And then what's coming, so that you know while I'm getting all my supplies ready, what's coming is I'm going to do the Facebook fan takeover. And that is just doing a live stream for the Facebook group. And we're going to use the new, this is another new flowering set. It's called One Go Friendship Flowers. And we are going to make 3 amazing cards with it. You're not going to want to miss it. That will be on April the 18th, a Saturday at noon, okay? And then here's another one for the new release. If you haven't seen those cute flowers, you need to see them. Just going to put some out here while I'm going. Okay, let me grab my supplies. I'm going to be using a really large, so this is probably a 9x12 sheet piece of paper, and I'm going to use the whole thing, because when you're cutting out these butterflies, you've got lots and lots of options. Sorry, let me grab all the cards and get them out of the way. Got to be careful with them. So I don't know if Rachel's put it in there, but we have a coupon today off of these watercolor brushes, so just stay tuned. We're also going to be using the new watercolor that's called Bold Ember. This is a pretty new release. I think it was last month, but we'll be using these colors, and these colors are nothing like what they're going to turn out to be because we're going to kind of mix some colors and make some really awesome stuff. Doesn't matter what kind of watercolor you have. If you don't have this one, that's fine. Just grab some watercolor. I'm going to use this huge 9x12 piece, and I'm going to do the entire thing at once because I'm telling you, you just think of this as like just creating your own colored cardstock. We're going to make our own colored cardstock, and we're going to cut out those butterflies from it. So I'm going to get a big piece, and we're going to get this a little bit wet. So I'm going to turn it this way. We're going to open up our palette here, which it has a little click on it if you haven't seen that. We're going to do this whole sheet in water. And one way that you can do it is you want to go ahead and get your brush wet. I'm going to use a little bit of tape on the edges just to try to keep it from warping. They are beautiful watercolor compacts, and I like that they really have, they're really bold colors. You'll see when I start using it. Let me just tape this down a little bit. So we are going to create some fun stuff. You know what? I do need to get one more supply. I'll have to look for where that is. So it's got these, it looks like it's 2 different color reds, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to create kind of half of this. See how big our die is? Our die is really large, so I can cut this twice. So I'm going to use this piece of paper, and I'm going to create a whole color scheme up here and a whole color scheme down here, and we're going to do it so fast. Okay, Kim, if that link's giving an error, give Rachel just a second. Today of all days, my blog has decided they were moving my blog, and it is causing some errors with some of the links. So just if you get an error, just pop it in the questions or in there, and Rachel will give you a different link to use so that we can do this, because it's just one of those days. I've got a lot of things going on that are using links from it, and of course today's the day they're going to move it to another place. I was like, what is happening? So I'm starting with just plain water, okay? And I'm just going to get my paper wet. And we're just going to kind of add some water to your watercolor paper. I do suggest using watercolor paper. And I'm going to go about halfway down. And then we're going to play with our colors. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be pinks and blues. So we're going to start with this is actually a dark blue right here, and I'm just barely touching. Add a little water. You'll see it's just kind of a dark blue, but we've already got some water added to it. So we're going to add and just swipe. Don't worry about if it's messy. Remember, this is just making our own colored cardstock here. So if you want it bluer, you can add a little bit more. So Rachel, did you get that link fixed? I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to start fading our colors because I want my butterflies to have multicolors in them. So I'm going to do, let's see which color. You know that red and blue makes purple, so we're going to kind of create a little fade with the purple. We're going to mix these two together. And there's not really a wrong way to do this. I wanted mine to show up dark enough, so you'll see that I end up putting a decent amount of color on the paper, but this is called watercolor washing. We're just kind of going across the page, adding water. I'm going to add a little bit of the light blue. We'll see what we think about that. It's not a huge difference. And I don't even worry about changing brushes. Like I rinse it off. If it gets a little color from the other one, no big deal. And then you can always go back in and add more color. You see how you get that nice little purple tinge right there? I love that. See how we're doing. Can I move the camera a little bit? Tell me what you mean by that. This is a huge piece, so I'm trying to get it all in the camera thing. I'm sorry. Tell me Rachel? Yeah, what are you thinking on moving the camera? Because some of it I can do and some I can't. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the darker blue too. And I'm going to make sure we've got some good overlap with our pinks. So I'm going to get just a little bit more pink and really overlap it so you got some different colors here. And all I'm doing is just swiping colors. So I've just got blues and pinks. That's it. It's going to look amazing. Yeah, just a little bit more blue up top. And you can just do however you want to, and it can be as messy as you want. I'm just laying color down. Look at how beautiful this is going to look on our butterflies though. Oh, it's going to look amazing. Okay, so I got it. Sorry, this page is longer than what I'm gonna do. I'll move it up as I go to the bottom part too. And I'm just gonna have one like a little bit darker area right here, just to make sure. So really, it's just playing. Well, I've got a pretty big die cutting machine. I'll show you what it's gonna take because it's a 5x7. So if you can get a 5x7 die through, then you're fine. So that's all I'm going to do on the top, and then let's move it up and make sure our die fits. So here's our die, and you see how when this is dry, I might need just a smidge more on the edge here and here. So I'm going to add just a little bit more width to it before I go on, and then we'll be good. I think I'm going to do a light blue. Just to make sure I've got some color here. And I'm going to extend it up at the top just a little bit so that we make sure our die cuts the whole thing and gets all these colors. So just make sure we go all the way to the top. Okay, now let's look at our die again and we'll see. Yeah, watercolor always terrified me too. That's why I'm trying to make it easy for you. See how that die is going to fit perfectly? It's basically we just made our own colored cardstock, and it doesn't matter if it has lines in it. That does not matter. If you want to soften them, you can take some water and kind of go along it. But I'm telling you, it's going to look so amazing when we layer these butterflies. So I'm going to scoot the page up, and we're going to do some more colors on the bottom. So I'll scoot it up a little bit. I know that's going to go off your screen, but that part's just kind of drying. And then we will work on painting some different colors for the bottom because we're going to make 2 different sets of butterflies. Y'all are going to see how many butterflies this makes. It's amazing. And each time it's going to be a little different because we've got different color sets, and every time I do the blending on it is going to be a little bit different. So let me get a new glass of water and see if you got any questions. We'll set that one back there. We'll get us a new one. Okay, so I would love to know if, make sure you put in there where you're watching from. I think I saw New Jersey today. I think I saw another Tennessean today. So tell me where you're watching from. Okay, this one we're gonna do some different colors. So we're gonna go, let me grab my paper towel. Yeah, it's so easy, just add water. So I've got to add water to the bottom of this one because I didn't do that yet. So I'm going to add some water here and just put it on my page. Oh, I can tell I got it off the edge. So let me wipe it off so I don't mix colors. So just adding some water. I mean, it's like if you were painting a wall and you were just making stripes and you didn't really care what they, just kind of like being, I like it that it doesn't require any skill. We're going with it doesn't require any skill. Ooh, South Africa. How cool is that? Somebody said they're watching from South Africa. I saw Wisconsin. Got to tell me how the weather is in Wisconsin. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of light blue, which we already had some down here, but I'm going to start with a little bit of that. And I don't know why I did said colors, but I did. Let's do some orange. So this color right here is an orangey color. It's like an orangey red. To me, it was a little bit dark, so I'm going to definitely add more water to it to make sure it's a little bit lighter orange. So I'm just grabbing water from there and just kind of spreading it out a little bit. So we got some orange. Let me see how big this is. Make sure we got it covered. I think I'm gonna, let's see what happens if we add orange to that blue. Probably not anything good, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's a little bit rusty. You can also take a paper towel, dab it off if you need to. I'm just getting us a little bit more color down here. And that, I think that when watercolor, you know, you can always add little details with your brushes, but to me, that's just a lot. I don't like to add tons of color and details. I just get, I'm already a little bit overwhelmed with it, so I don't want to do that. So I'm taking my yellow. We're gonna do some kind of orangey yellow ones. And I know I'm just making a mess, aren't I? Let's get a little bit of that. Okay. And then we're gonna do a little bit more blue. Actually, let's see what color this is. This is a little mustardy color. Let's see what that looks like. Just a little different yellow. I don't know that I like that one as much. Oh, Indiana and Wyoming. Awesome. Oh, it's gonna rain. Here we're just, everything is coated in pollen in Tennessee. It's so coated in pollen that you don't even really know what to do with yourself, because you're just, so I'm gonna coat the blue over this yellow, and it's going to give us some green. So we kind of got a little rainbow going, okay? So see how I'm getting some green there too? That's one thing I love about watercolor too. It's just so fun to mix the colors. Hi, Patty. So nice to have you. I'm over here just being free with watercoloring, showing that it can be easy, believe it or not. So my water's getting a little bit dirty. I may have to change that out to get the true color there. But I'm taking it all the way to the edge because I want to cut this out, and I want that nice green right there in the middle. So I might even add just a little bit more yellow to get my greens. So we're mixing our blues. Yeah. So you get that definite change there. Look at how beautiful that is. All we did is use this brush, water, and just, that's all we're doing. Super easy. Oh, good. Okay, so tell me too, with watercoloring, is this anybody's, has anybody like never, is there anyone in the audience who's never tried watercoloring? I'm gonna put this away. Hopefully I won't knock those over anytime soon. Okay, that is all we're doing. The end, not doing any more with this, just that. And I'll wipe this off, try not to get it on my other cards. Very easy. So I'm gonna dry it a little bit with a heat tool just to get some extra drying done. It will warp it just a little bit, but we're not gonna worry about that warping because we're cutting out these little bitty die pieces from it. And look at this. We're gonna get 2 stacks of butterflies. It's gonna be awesome. So the main thing with watercolor, I would say, is just making sure you have some watercolor paper. That is the most important thing. Have some watercolor paper. You can use some little brushes you find in anywhere, it's fine. I do love this one, and I do think that these Altenew brushes do a really good job. They just stay together and don't fall apart, basically. But we're gonna do just a little bit of drying on this, and while we do that, I'm going to chat with you. And Rachel, if you haven't put the coupon code in the chat, would you do that for me? Also, I want to tell you about something while I'm drying, and I'm going to have to kind of speak over this, but there is a new event that I'm doing. It's an organizing event, and it's called the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit. I'm going to have to talk over this, but you'll still be able to hear me, I believe, with my microphone. And I am going to be presenting. I'm doing a full craft room tour, and then I'm going to be live for the paid ticket holders. I'm going to be live actually organizing part of my craft room with you. So we're going to get things done and chat about it on Zoom. So if you want to sign up, there's free and paid ticket options, and Rachel will pop those in there. And it'll help me out if you make sure you use my link. So I feel like the top is almost dry. I'm going to go from the back. See how I got the edges a little bit soaked? We'll just kind of give it a little heat, and then we're going to work on the other parts of the card. Let me pop this out of there. Okay, and see, I am warping it, but I'm not worried about that right now. We've got lots of movement that you can make with watercolor cardstock. It really is very pliable, and so it's going to look amazing in these embossing folders. It looks so good in embossing folders. The name of the butterfly die is called, I'm going to set it right here so you can read it. It's called Zero Waste Fluttering Fantasies, and it's creative cuts, so that may be one of the subscriptions. Oh, good, Nancy, that's great. Awesome, I saw y'all signed up this morning too. Thank you. I hope that y'all used my link when you did that. That would be great. All right, so tell me, are you a butterfly? What's your favorite, butterflies or florals? Can you pick a favorite, or do you love them both so much you can't even pick? Tell me in the comments. Okay, this is mostly dry. I can run my hand over it. May have ever so slightly a little bit on these edges, but we're not going to cut those edges, so it's going to be perfectly fine. And this is the size of our die, so this thing is huge. So you can kind of pick where you want it to be. On this one, I did a little bit more rainbowy than I did on my original card, but I did that on purpose because I wanted to play with the rainbow. Okay, and then on this one, we're going to do, whoops, here's one of my hairs. That's not going to help. And this side, we're going to do like blues and yellows. Okay, or not blues, sorry, blues and pinks. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me trim up this paper and we'll have it dry just a little bit more while we get a background ready. So we're going to do some embossing on vellum. We're going to do some embossing on this watercolor paper. It's going to be lots of fun. Let's let this sit over here to dry just a minute, and then we'll run it through. So this thing is 5x7. So for me, I'm going to be using my larger Anna Griffin Impress to cut it out, just so you know. But in the meantime, let's get this out of the way because I know that I'm going to get everything wet if I don't get it out of there. Okay, both people are like, both. I know, it'd be hard to pick between florals and butterflies because they're both so amazing. I don't know if I could do it either. So today our exclusive coupon is on that the watercolor brush set. So make sure you check that out. If you haven't seen my live on Instagram, we're going to try to get to those Sakura blossoms as well. So we're going to try to get to this card as well. We'll see how that goes. Alrighty, so let's start with our background that I think I need to grab the stamps too. So we're going to use this embossing folder and we're going to use it on vellum. So let's get a piece of vellum here. And we're going to use this behind our butterflies. And I love using vellum with butterflies because I feel like it just feels fluttery, you know? Feels so fluttery. Yes. Sorry, I'm seeing what. Oh, I'm so sorry about your dog. Oh, 10 minutes later. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, so we're going to cut this and then we're going to emboss it. And I am going to do, so this is the card we're working on first. And I'm going to show you how we emboss this section. So I think I'm going to cut myself about, pretty sure I cut about 2 1/4. So let's cut about, let me look at it compared to this one. We'll make sure. Yeah, right at 2 1/2. I'll do 2 1/2. I'll do 2.75 just in case my edges look bad. How about that? 2.75, sorry. How many times am I going to guess? And I'm just cutting this down straight. Okay. And then we are going to put it through an embossing thing. So yes, I know it's longer than the actual embossing folder, but that's okay. This embossing folder is called Piped Floral Lace. Perfect for butterflies. So tell me, do we have anybody new to embossing folders? Yes, they do have free shipping. So some people spray water on vellum. You can do that, and we can do that, but I don't think, because this is a more plastic paper, I don't know that it makes a huge difference. I just add just a little bit just to see, but I think that you really need to, that it's fine just to do without that. So I'm going to decide where I want my big flowers, just moving my piece of paper to make sure it gets a lot of different variation on it. And I'm going to send it through this embossing machine, die cutting machine. How about that? We'll send it through. I like to use the Spellbinders Platinum. Oh, good, Eileen, you're new to these. So Spellbinders has a specific sandwich. It's the A and D, and then you put your embossing folder in the between. To me, this is the easiest of the different sandwiches, so I tend to use this machine for all of my embossing. Now, if you have a different one, you can always figure out what the sandwich is. No big deal, no big deal. So if a lot of you, tell me too, are y'all in the Altenew fan group on Facebook? Let's see if we got enough pressure on it. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move this so that you can see, and we'll see if we got enough pressure, if I need to add anything. Oh yeah, we did. Okay, all right. Let's do the reveal. Whew. That looks good. I feel like it even got more pressure with the water, believe it or not, but that looks so good, doesn't it? Those butterflies are gonna go look so cute on those. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of on the front of our card. I should have done it this way. Let me do another strip too. I'm gonna do one this direction, and I'm not gonna use the water so we can test it. But I'm gonna do that because I do want to, when you're taping down vellum, sometimes it's nice to wrap it around the edge, and I didn't leave myself much edge right there, so I think I'm gonna go this direction. We'll try that. Let me just cut this one about the same size, and we'll do that. Okay, let's see. So will that machine work with a 5x7 die? That's what she's asking. She's asking, will this machine work with a 5x7 die? I think so. Yep. You see? Perfect. It'll fit perfectly. I think this is a 6x8 plate, and I think they have extensions if you want bigger ones, longer ones at least. Oops, I need that again. Sorry. Sorry, have to keep bending down. Okay, let's cut this to about 2.75 as well, and then I'm going to stick it in there this direction so that we can get, so I can hopefully have some flaps to wrap it around. Sorry, I did this a while ago and forgot I'd done it that way. So let's go this direction. This one I'm not going to add water to, and let's see if there's a difference. I'm just trying to get some good impression on it. Like right about there. So let's run that one through. Okay, and so because it's going sideways, usually you put this part at the top where you're going to roll it through, but I don't want this to catch on the edges, so I'm going to turn my embossing this way so that it doesn't catch as it goes through the machine. So this vellum that I'm currently using, I have all different kinds, and I really haven't seen that there's a huge difference in all of them. This one is actually from Simon Says Stamp. It is their just basic vellum, and I have tried lots of different ones. I have a really great thick one that I love, but you know, you kind of like hoard that thick one. It's from, I think it's just from Amazon. Yeah, that Zero Waste Butterfly die is awesome. Okay, let's see how this did. Ooh, I actually kind of like that better. So water versus no water. We'll see what you think. Sorry, I have to put it down. I think it's pretty much the same. I really do. So now I've got a band that I can wrap around the card. So let's go ahead and score that, and we'll get our card base and make sure it fits. So this, once again, embossing folder is called Piped Floral Lace, and I just like it because it's a good size flower compared to these butterflies. Yes. So tell me some more things. Is anybody gonna try watercoloring after this, or are you always just, or are you just kind of checking it out to see what you think? I hope that it changes somebody's mind and they decide they're trying it. Okay, I'm gonna get out a scoring board. I'm also gonna grab the card base that I'm planning to use, which we're gonna use a colored card base. We're gonna use this color because it's gonna look really good with these. And it's called Misty Morning. Okay, so we're gonna use an A2 card base. This is an A2 size, 4.25 by 5.5. And I'm going to score this so that we can bend it around. So it should be, I'll double check my sizing, but I think we'll be able to just score it. Let's see how long this actual, okay. Let's see how long it is. I think it's exact. Yeah, look at that. So the pattern or the width of the embossing folder is exactly 5.5 because we went sideways, put it in there, and look, it's gonna fold over this card perfectly. Yay, I'm glad people are gonna try it, good. So you can basically just score it right where the thing ends. Let's see, 5.5, yep. Right where the design ends, okay? So I'm gonna score, and I'm gonna bend these over and press them down carefully. I'm not gonna press real hard because I don't wanna take away my design, but I'm just gonna carefully go along the edge and make that flat so that it'll be our way to tape this on the front. Okay. Now, if you need to put any actual adhesive behind this, if it feels like it's not sticking down, you can do that, and you can put it underneath the butterflies to hide it. But for me, I was gonna try to attach it like this. Let's see here, I may need a hair more just to get it around there. Let's give it just a section more. You have to have just a little bit of a bend there to get that perfect. Or I can trim my cardstock, let's see. Oh, so close. Yeah, perfect. Perfection. Look at how cute that looks. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna put my adhesive on this area right here. We'll add a little bit of that, and then we'll check and see if our butterflies are dry enough to cut. I don't think I'm gonna need the scoreboard for anything else. Tell me, let's see what we're doing here. Yes, and you're gonna see when I put some of this watercolor paper through an embossing folder, it looks so good. I mean, I am a huge fan of it being on vellum, and I think that you could really like cut these out and do vellum butterflies that are embossed. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. We have this extra piece. Let's cut some butterflies out of it too. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I was gonna ask y'all something. What was it gonna be? Have y'all ever used a zero waste die from Altenew? I'm curious to see if you've done that. I'm gonna go ahead and put some double-sided adhesive right here. And if you have used a zero waste, do you remember which one you used? Because I'd like to hear, and they kind of started making them in the last couple of years. So they're really nice. Definitely like them. So just putting some double-sided adhesive here, and you can trim off your flap if you need to. Okay, so zero waste is a really cool concept, so I'll make sure to explain it to you since not everybody has tried it yet. And there really are probably only like 5 or 6 of them, I believe. I don't know how many total there are, but I think that's about right. Sorry. But butterflies is one of my favorite ways to use them. Okay, so we'll be able to we'll undo our adhesive and put it right there. I'm not gonna do that just yet because I wanna cut my butterflies out. Let's see how we're doing on our dryness over here. I would say it's ever so slightly damp, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So I'm going to put my die right here and get some good, you just want to make sure you get lots of that variation in them. So you could even, you can turn it any way you want to do it. I'm just going to put mine down kind of like this, and we're going to layer them a lot. So go here, try to kind of make it even throughout. Okay, and I'm using a magnetic mat, so it just sticks to the mat, and then we're going to send it through. Oh, are there quite a few, Carrie? Okay, I didn't know. I remember there was the ornaments. There's a zero waste flower one, but I feel like is there another butterfly zero waste? I don't know, but we're going to send this through. While I do that, would you, so are you a soft color or a bright color person? I'd love to know that. Because with watercolor, you can continue to add color and you will still see it. So here's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna carefully take all of these little guys out, and we're gonna put them in, see if I have a container to put it in. I'll put them in a little, I'll put them in a, what is that thing called? Coffee filter, okay? I'm just gonna stick my extras in a coffee filter. So let me get all of this out of the way, and then we'll pile up our butterflies, because you're gonna be shocked at how many this produces. I didn't even count how many it actually is, but it's a lot. Okay, and so what zero waste means is that not only do you get your dies, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, you get these cute butterflies, but then you have what you can use as a background. Okay, so you can, I didn't do this in this video, but what you can do is use your beautifully colored background and create a shaker card, or just put butterflies on top of it to keep some of that color. These do have some little antenna right here. I'm not going to worry about that, because for me, I'm going to cut out the bodies of these, and that way I will have, I already have the antenna that I need. Okay, so we've got so many pink, purple, blue butterflies. And then you see, if you decided you wanted to create a card front with this, you could just put this on a card. I can just cut this out, glue it down. I could put a flower on it. I could just put a sentiment on it. That's why it's called zero waste, because not only do you have your butterflies, but they've organized it so that it looks really nice as a background. Okay, I see a light colors. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Debbie. She said that's pretty. I see one for light colors. Tell me if anybody else is on the brighter side. Did I see brighter side? I love the spring and summer. More on the bright side, Judy says. So bright side or pastel side? What's your fave, or do you just love them both? So I'm going to set this aside, because we could definitely put a card together with that. But right now, let's make some, look at these butterflies. If you want them to be darker colors, you just add more watercolor. You can go back to these same ones and just run a brush over it and do that. That would be perfectly fine. Oops, look, I missed a butterfly. I didn't even realize I missed him. Here he is. Okay, so we got those to work with. We will also use these are the little centers of the butterfly, and I'm going to do those in a glitter cardstock. Okay, we're going to use white glitter from Altenew called Moonstone. So we're going to use this cardstock, Moonstone, and we're going to cut out these little bodies of the butterflies so we can put our butterflies together. So see how cute those are? Oh, and they don't take much space, so you can save kind of a lot of glitter cardstock. So I'm going to actually cut around it and just cut out those. And it makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them at a time. Now I've got way more butterflies than that, but I'm going to stack my butterflies, so I won't need any more than that. Yeah. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit the thumbs up and that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any lives. I will be live here again next Saturday with the Altenew fan group takeover. We're going to make some more fun cards. We're going to use one stamp set and create 3 different cards from just stamping it once. So it's a really cool set. It's called One Go Friendship. So if you've got that one, stay tuned. I will be doing that on Saturday. All right, let's send this through the die cutting machine real quick. I'm going to use a smaller one since this is a small piece. And so when you're sending cards to people, are you, careful with how much you layer it up, or do you just layer it up and use extra stamps? Look at how gorgeous these are. These are a little delicate, so be careful. I use my pointy tool to get him off. But look at there. See how sparkly? It's gonna look so good over those pastel colors. Oh man. Okay, let me get the rest of them out of the die. Hey, thanks. So glad to have you, Cheryl. All right, do we have any questions? Anybody got questions about watercolor? I would say just, if you've got it in your drawer, just try it. It's so fun. I bent his little antenna. Yeah, I kind of make what I like and just do extra postage. Okay, you use 1mm foam. So Marcy, are you in Canada or are you in the US? I know that a lot of Canadian crafters use the 1mm foam to make sure it's not too thick. Yeah, I'll layer it up too. All right, so we got our pretty little extra pieces, those antennae and the bodies. I don't know what that part of the butterfly is actually called. So we got some, now we can build some butterflies. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna just stack them up. I know I wanna use this. This is the biggest of them, so I definitely wanna use the big one. I think that's my biggest, let's see. And I'm gonna do 2 to 3 stacked on each one. So what I do is I kind of look at all the variation. I like it to have lots of variation of color. So I'm just gonna play with which layers I think look the best. So we're gonna turn them all over, look at their colors, and then play with that. So let's see what we got here. And I'm gonna do, let's see how big I did on this just to make sure it fits. I'm gonna do this big one, and then I'm going to use, so these are kind of like the 3 largest right here. So we're gonna stack on these 3. And we'll see what we'd like to stack here. But you can really kind of do anything you want to. I think this one might look good here. Let's see, is this one? See if there's any questions. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Oh, Rachel, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. So we're gonna layer these up and we're gonna create 3 and it's gonna go along our beautiful here. So if you wanna see size-wise, you just can make sure that all these fit. Like I said, I picked kind of the 3 biggest and they will all fit along this A2 card. So I'm gonna go with 3 and stack them up. My center one that's the biggest, I'm gonna stack that 3 wide. So I'm gonna do like that one, maybe this one, or this one. Let's see. He's got some good color variation. So that'll be that one. I've got 2 over here, and then I need something for this one. This guy. Okay. Then I've got all these extra pieces that I can use wherever I want to. I kind of like this one. No, I like that one better. So that's why I like to have color variation, because it's so fun. All right, let's put these back in their container. We can use those later, and let's start gluing these together with their little antenna too. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of glue on each one and put it together. So the butterfly dies from Altenew. Let me like recap while I'm gluing too. The butterfly die is called the Zero Waste Fluttering Fantasies. I'll show it to you again in just a minute, but I'm mainly gluing the center so that I can pull the wings up a little bit. Just gives it a little bit more dimension on your card. If you need to keep it as a flat card, you can do that, but I love pulling that center pulling the little edges up like you do with a flower. So I'm mainly gluing them from the center. So we'll put a little glue here, put this guy in the middle, and then I'm going to pull his wings up a little bit. I may have to wait till he completely dries, but okay. That way he's got some more, just some more dimension to him. How cute is that? So the butterfly die, like I said, was from Altenew. We're going to use, we just embossed some vellum, and we're going to be putting these over there. We also are using glitter cardstock from, can you see that that's glitter? So it's called Moonstone, and that is from Altenew as well. We have a special gift card or sale code today. If you're interested in buying any watercolor brushes, you can grab that. Rachel will put it in there. And then I also today is the first day for me to be able to advertise the organization summit that I'm doing. I will be doing a really fun summit. If you haven't been to one of the summits that I've done, then you definitely need to try it out. It has free ticket options. It has paid ticket options. Let's look at that. Look at how cute this little guy is. Oh my goodness. Isn't that so easy and perfect? Okay, let's add the middles of these. I just think it's so cute. And remember, all I did was swipe that on. I just grabbed some watercolor, swiped it on some paper, and gave us some nice things. You could do this with a colored cardstock. That's perfectly fine. I just love the dimension that the watercolor gives. And you see I'm holding it in the middle, and I'm just kind of pulling up the little wings to give them a little bit more dimension so they stand up off the page. And then we'll put our center on, and we're about done with our first card. If you go shopping for anything at Altenew today, just make sure to use my link. If y'all like me doing Altenew lives, it's always helpful if you'll use my link to show them that you're watching. Okay, here's this one. Let's hold him up close. And see, on that one, I actually got a little dot of extra paint over there, but I don't really care. I think it looks cute. All right. And then I promised you that I would look and see what it looks like to cut out the embossed panel that we made that we're not going to use. And I'm going to cut that out with the butterflies, and let's see what happens. Because I think it would look really interesting on top of these as well. Or as a middle layer. I mean, you can layer these and layer these and layer these. I bet you could come up with, out of this section, I bet we could add 2 more layers to each one if you wanted to. I'm just trying to make it, it's not too thick for the card. Okay, let's cut that vellum. Pastels, yes, thank you. So if you are here right now too, if you're watching the replay, make sure you tell me that you're watching the replay. I love to know those kinds of things. And if you're live, just tell me, what color scheme do you like better? Do you like the blue and pink or the rainbow? Which one is your favorite? Okay, let's look at, I'm gonna see what happens if I cut this spare panel. We're gonna cut out a couple of butterflies, and we'll see what they look like. We might have needed to emboss them before, but I'm going to try to cut out some of these little small ones, and we'll see what it looks like. It is going to flatten the embossing just a little bit. Oops, that's too small. But I think it could be a really fun addition if you decide you're playing around with this. So this is another reason not to let your scraps go to waste. Just cut them out of these dies. It'd be so fun. Blue and pink is a favorite. Yep, blue and pink. Okay, I see some blue and pinks, and I see some rainbows. Trying to see which one's winning. I should have given you a number to make it easier to respond. Sorry about that. Next one, I'll give you like a number, and that way you'll get it. Okay. So let's see how this turned out. It did flatten that embossing some. Let's see if I can get this off of here. But man, those look nice. Hang on. So we cut out some of these. Look at how cute these are. Oh, they're very delicate, but that's just embossed vellum. Look, you could put this, oh man, I might actually have to do that. Hang on, we may have to add another layer. See how many we got, if we got enough to do it. Just for fun. Ooh, that looks good. This is one of those things where you're live and you're like, let me just try that. And then you're like, why didn't I try that the first time? Okay, do you think I should add in the vellum, or do you think it's going to be too much? Do you think I should put the vellum on the butterflies as well, or is that covering up your color too much? Y'all tell me what you think. And I may add an extra layer to each of these. We'll see. So how about, let's do a number. I said I'd do a number next time I asked a question. So if you want me to add vellum to these butterflies, to add an extra layer, put number 1 in the comments. If you like them the way they are so that you can see the colors a little bit better, put number 2 in the comments. And I'll wait and see which one you do while I'm cleaning up here. And we'll do that. The vellum does look really nice, I'm gonna say. Okay, so number 1s it looks like. Do I see some number 2s? Leave the color. A lot of number 1s. Uh-oh, I think I may put some vellum on there, which means I got to take my little middle piece off. Hang on. Don't you love it when you just like come up with different ideas, and it's so exciting. Wasn't in the plan today, but let's do it. Okay, so let's take our, because I definitely think everybody wants to see the vellum. So I'm going to take this little guy off, which actually was pretty easy to do. See if I can get this one off without tearing anything. Ooh. He's going to be a little harder. Ooh. This is the first one I stuck down, so he may be just a little bit of a pain. Come on, you can come off there. Might make a little, we might need to make him covered up a little bit more. Oh, look at how cute that's gonna look. Oh my goodness, okay. Hang on, so we got this guy, this guy. This one probably needs to go on here because it's so big now. So one of ours is kind of big. I think I'm gonna put it on this one. Can you see that? I need to hold it up. So we got 3 layers here. Let's put our, I'll put this one on here, I think. Is that what we decided? And that one. These other 2 are a little too small, and I didn't cut the whole panel since we had such a small panel. So let's do these, and we'll get them glued down. While I'm gluing, oh, sorry, Jackie had a good idea. I would rather see the vellum in between the painted butterflies as well, but I don't know if I can take them apart, and I didn't make big enough. I wonder if these will come apart without ripping. No, they won't. That will be a plan for another one. I know. That's what I would have done if I'd thought of it in the first place, but we can't really do that one live, sorry. Or we're gonna rip up our things and not be able to make this card. But I do understand and agree with Jackie. Future plans, yeah. Definitely future plans, that's right. Okay, look at that. Okay, let me hold this up so you can see. That looks really cute. Yes, it would look really good in between. I just needed to make a plan for that, didn't I? Let's go ahead and glue our little butterflies on. All right, if you hadn't done it yet, please hit the thumbs up so that people can find this on the replay. We are working with Altany products today and using these amazing butterflies. We're creating the zero waste butterfly. It's called Fluttering Fantasies. That's a hard one to say. It's a really long name. Okay, let's add this one. And this one, it did rip just a little bit. You can see it kind of ripped, but it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna put that vellum over it, so you're not gonna be able to tell. Plus, it only ripped right in the area where we also put the body of the butterfly. Ooh, nice. Actually, that goes. So technically, this butterfly is about 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, and then it's got its little body. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, each one's about 4 layers. And it doesn't matter which side you put the vellum on. You can, I tend to have a like kind of a preference, so that's why I'm doing that. I like it to be like, I would call it right side up from the embossing. Only have 61 thumbs. Yes, I know, there's a lot of people here. Be nice for people to see it on the replay. So if you haven't done it yet too, just make sure that you're subscribed. It's amazing how many people are not subscribed. Look at how beautiful these look. Oh my goodness. And we're gonna put these on this background. See how they show up? It looks like lace on them, which is what the embossing folder is called. So this is my general plan. I was gonna put this lace around the edges, and then we were gonna do this. Let me grab a, oh, look at that. Man, it just looks beautiful. Sorry, but that is gorgeous. Actually, I'm gonna put that one up there, and this one. Oh man, that is going to be so pretty. Look at how beautiful that is. Okay, so let's do, I'll show you where I got my sentiment from, and I'll add that, and then we'll adjust this as needed and get it taped down. So see how when you got the vellum like as a band like that, it wants to kind of bend the paper a little bit. So I think I'm going to chop off just like 1/8 of an inch right here, just to help it stay a little bit flatter so it's not pulling too hard on it. So let me just chop off like 1/8 of that. If you have any questions? So if y'all haven't seen it yet, and if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I put out my first ever Instagram live stream. So I'm just going to cut off like a teeny amount. My first ever Instagram live stream yesterday, using the huge new cherry blossom set from Altenew. If you are interested in that, make sure you see it, because we're going to try to finish that card up today. So for this one, I used the sentiments from this set, which is the set called One Go Friendship Flowers. This is the one we're going to use in the live stream on April the 18th. And I'm going to use this Hugs. It's got lots of fun little things. You're all kinds of amazing. Wishing you peace and comfort. I'm grateful for your friendship. I did Hugs thinking of you, but I've got some extras cut out. And so let's look and see what we've got, and we will adjust our sentiment. So definitely want to cut Hugs out. You could do Hugs happy birthday. We could do Hugs wishing you peace and comfort. I kind of think wishing you peace and comfort might be nice, because it's, I don't know, when I think of butterflies, you do kind of think of like, I mean, these butterflies to me almost look angelic. And so I think using the Hugs and doing this as a sympathy card, even though it's colorful and sparkly, is just, it has a really like comforting look to it. So let's vote if you're wishing you peace and comfort, or doing just a happy birthday. Tell me which one you think you'd like to do. And I'm going to grab the die for the Hugs. So this is what that One Go Friendship Flowers looks like. It's such a fun set. Let's see where my dies are. Here it is. Cut that out, and we'll put it on here too. So when I am storing sets, I tend to store them all together in these envelopes. These are actually from Altenew. See these envelopes, and they close shut. And then if I do some extra stamping, I'll put it in here as well. That way I can just have it, and if I decide I want to go stencil that, I can do that later. But it never hurts to keep your extra pieces in there. Peace and comfort. Okay. Definitely going for peace and comfort. I see a happy birthday. Let me set this here. Okay, let's cut out Hugs real quick. And then we'll cut out a little strip here. I wonder if I've got a die that will cut that peace and comfort out. So we'll cut out hugs, and this I've already stamped with obsidian, Altenew Obsidian Black. So while we're on the subject of creating us a card for someone who's lost someone, or that you're sending comfort to, tell me, do you tend to do colorful cards as sympathy cards, or do you keep it pretty bland? This is a longer sentiment, so I'm gonna have to make sure it fits in between these butterflies. I want to cover the butterflies up. So I got a butterfly. Oh, this one's the biggest one. Big one. So I'm just gonna adjust my card based on where I can put that. Let's see if it'll fit. Let me not lose this die. Put it on the magnet over here so I can put it up after the live stream. And look, you got all these little ones that we cut out too. You could even put these around here if you wanted to. Let's see, wishing you peace and comfort. Let me see. If I can get that thin enough, I think I can stick it right in between these two butterflies. Let's just get it really thin, which means I'm gonna have to do a little trimming. It might be not perfect, just FYI. I'm gonna hand do it, which means it'll probably be even less perfect, but that's okay. Okay, so you apply the discount by using the link, and it will automatically update your cart with that coupon. So if you just use the link, you have to put it in the cart. You have to put the products in your cart to see the discount, but it will update. Oh, I'm going to say I actually didn't do too bad hand cutting that. Okay. Let's see if it fits. Okay, it fits. It fits. Barely, but it fits. It's cutting it a little close, but we got it. Okay, so let's put this guy together and then we'll do our next one. Tell me inside by, oh yeah, we could put this on the inside of the card. That would be really cute. Okay, yes, that would be a really good idea, Marcy. So tell me, do y'all prefer clean and simple cards, or do you prefer lots of layers? So if you're clean and simple, just put CS. If you're lots of layers, put LL in the comments while I grab a couple things. I had to grab one quick stamp set, and then we're gonna slowly do this. That's a great idea to put these. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use those inside the card. We're only gonna make the card front right now, but we're going to do that. Okay, simple. Okay, clean and simple. I see lots of clean and simples. Oh, I see some layers. LL for lots of layers. CS for clean and simple. Tell me what you think. Okay, so got those stuck to the back. We need to, I'm gonna go ahead and put these here because I wanna make sure that we line everything up right. I'm putting this in my grid so that I know where the middle is. And then we're gonna stick our biggest one right in the middle and try to adjust from there. So I'm gonna add, I think I'm gonna do it with double-sided adhesive because it just needs a little bit more to stick to the vellum than glue. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of double-sided adhesive. Yeah, the link does give me credit. And that is helpful. It doesn't cost you anything, but it gives me just a little bit of credit for you shopping. Plus, it also lets Altenew know that you're liking my content. So I know people are always like, oh, it's just, oops, I didn't, do whatever. But it tells them who you want to see more of. And I'm hoping that you want to see more of me. Okay, I'm just going to kind of stick that one there. Let's put another little dot of adhesive on this one. I love how this one turned out. Oh my goodness. Gosh, these little butterflies are just magnificent. Magnificent. Okay. And I'm going to try to make sure this fits there. You may have to go a little bit. See if I can scoot him down just any more. It's about as far as he goes. Oh, I think it's still going to fit. Hang on. It may have like a little bit of a wing over it, but it's still going to work. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on it. It's always hard to find a real skinny adhesive. So this is like, you need like a 1/8 inch right here. Now I only have one this size from scrapbook.com, so that's what I'm going to use. In-betweener. Okay. I'm changing your vote. So tell me, do you usually keep your leftovers? Like, would you keep these little butterflies and put them in a pouch if you didn't think of a way to use them, or would you throw them away? And I don't think either way is necessarily wrong. I just want to know. I tend to keep most things that are die cut if I can, but some of the little bitty stuff I don't. So tell me if you're a keep or throw away. Might need just a little bit of popping that up. Oh, that's going to look really good. Let's add this. Keep them. Yeah. I like the in-betweeners. That's funny. And Judy, I think you're the one who came up with the idea to do the vellum on the butterflies. That really does look good. I actually thought about that when I was making them, but I was like, well, I've already done this much on the card, and I was liking how it was looking, but I really like the vellum too. Okay, we're gonna put hugs down there. Now we got one more butterfly, and this little one is done. Just a little smidge. Okay. And I really am only holding these on by the middle so that they can be fluttery. I'd like to hear too, one thing that I've been wondering, and I'd love to hear your opinion, is what your favorite adhesive to use on vellum is. Do you have a favorite? Are you a vellum user? Oh, this looks so good. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to hang on to those little butterflies. Just give me a second. Got to keep these. We got to keep these, and we still have all of these left over from our set. So we got all, like, you could make a whole inside of your card, or you could use this as the background to the inside of your card because it's that zero waste. Yeah, I tend to keep pieces that I've die cut. Look at this. Oh, so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I am like impressed with the card. Okay, let me show you the originals so that you can see the difference in using the vellum on top and not. So this one I did when I watercolored, I did get it a little bit darker. You can see that I did that, probably did some more layers, but that's how watercolor is. Every time you do it, it's a little bit different. So it can turn out slightly different. I actually like the lightness of this one as a sympathy card. This one is a great one. It's showing off the colors of those, but you see how much difference you can create. So on this one, we added embossed vellum. We used our piece that we messed up, and we cut out some little butterflies and put them all along here. And then on this one, we left it bold colors. I do think the vellum would look nice as the middle layer right there too. But let's vote on these. Tell me which look you like the best. This will be number 1 and this will be number 2. So tell me that in the comments while I'm getting everything out to do the next card. Okay, number 1, number 2. Pop it in that comment for me. See what's going. Love both. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do our other piece. Okay, number 1 or number 2? Y'all tell me in the comments. I see some 2s. Ooh, I see a lot of 2s. So y'all are really liking the vellum. I'll make sure I put both of those on social media. I'll take some pictures of these this weekend. I have so many fun projects coming up with Altenew. Oh my goodness. If y'all like Altenew, just stay tuned. I got so much in the works. So really love how both of those turned out. And then, like you said, we can use some of those extra butterflies on the inside and it'll look so cute. I like that Kim is like 1.5. I'm going to go with 1.5 means that it will, maybe you put the vellum inside the brighter color one. I like the 1.5. That was cracking me up. Is that Kim? Yeah. Okay, here's our other color. So now I'm going to set these aside. I'll show them to you again in a minute. Make sure to, while I am getting these cut out, that you tell me what you think about these zero waste dies. Are you a thumbs up on zero waste dies, or are you like, it's a die? I think that they're really cool because I really like using that background. I also like how big these are. So now we're gonna do some rainbow butterflies. And when I originally did these, I did them mainly orange and yellow. So we're kind of branching out a little bit on this next card as well. I like to sometimes just add something a little bit different in the live stream. Okay, if you have to choose two. See that? Yeah. So Charlie says, do you prefer a white base or would you use color? Let's ask everybody else. Do you like white or color on your bases for these? Would you use color back here, or would you prefer to have it as a white cardstock? So white cardstock or colored? I used, hang on, let me send this through. Here's the embossing folder that we used. Here are the names of the dies. On our next one, we're going to use a mostly white base, so you'll see the difference. I just really love colored card bases too. I like both. I don't know. I like them both. It's hard for me to pick, but they both do really amazing things. So let's look at all these butterflies and how they turned out. Get myself another thing to put them in. All right, and while you're here, will you answer, do you have, I want to know how many of you have seen my Instagram or Facebook Live stream on this, so that I'll know how many people have seen the first part of this. So we did all of this layering and did some paste on it yesterday live. So that's on Facebook and that's on Instagram. I'm curious how many people are here and want to see that card, because we'll see how we are with time. Oh, look at these. Oh my goodness. Those are pretty. So I'm going to punch all these out too. We'll have lots of butterflies. We're going to use 3 butterflies on the next one as well. So here's what we're getting. And this one really feels pretty dry, so that's good. So in the next one, we're actually going to emboss the butterflies. I'll play with embossing the butterflies. So this would be a cool looking background too. Look at this over like let's look at it over white. Can make a really good shaker card but it would look really nice just to be the background. That's why it's zero waste. So you can use this as you want. Yeah, okay, good. So Angela said, yeah, I'd like to see the card from yesterday. So I'll take you through, I'll do a quick review. If we get to it, I'll do a quick review of it, and we will look at, we'll look at putting together a card with it. I was going to kind of play with that. We'll see how much time we have. So we'll see where we are. Okay, so I like this big butterfly. I want to do like a big and a medium. Let's look here at what all we've got. Let's see what that looks like. Kind of like the same colors on each one. Trying to decide if I want. On my original card, I kept it to yellows and pinks, but this one I branched out and we did a little bit of rainbow. So let's see how these look. That looks kind of good with that one. See if we do them different colors, how they look. Let's see. Just however you feel like looks the best for you. I'm going to go here. So this is what I think we're going to go with. I think we're going to go with these three. I just like those color combos the best. Okay. Thank you, Rachel, for letting me know. She's getting some storms, and she's my link putter in her. Jelly's there too, just to kind of direct you on all to new products. But Rachel, if she gets a storm outage, we'll have to just get the links in the description. All right, so tell me now, who would you, sorry, I know it loves to do that. I don't even know why. Who would you send your butterfly card to? If it was, would you send it as a sympathy card, or would you send it as a just thinking as you card? Tell me sympathy versus just thinking of you. And let me see if I cut a white piece of paper. I don't think I did. I don't think I cut myself a card base, so let's grab that, and then we're going to stamp on it. This card base, I'm going to do more like a 4. I'm going to do just a little bit smaller so that I can line it in black. So let's do it like right around 4, maybe 4 1/8. I'll go like right there. And I know I cut that the wrong way, sorry. Sometimes that happens when you're on camera. Instead of 5 1/2, maybe I'll go like right around a 5 2/5. Right about there. Okay, now we are going to, this is just plain white cardstock. It is not special, it's just like the cheap cardstock. So it's not gonna hold ink quite as well, but it looks really cool with this technique. So let me show you. We're gonna get out our stamp wheel, and we're gonna use a newer color, at least newer to me. I was playing with the stamp wheel yesterday and I put this thing in wrong, hang on. So when I do my stamp wheel, I have the black sticky mat because I like being able to see the grid through this clear mat. So it's kind of almost like a Cricut mat. They sell that at Altenew. And then I put my sticky mat over the top of it. And here is our card base, which we're going to do some stamping on. So we are going to use, I used this in a reel yesterday and got lots of attention. It's called Leafscape. It's a really fun, easy stamp set that gives you just a nice background. And I thought this would look really nice with those beautiful, beautiful butterflies. So we're going to keep it really light colored, but we're going to use both of the leaves. It's called Leafscape. I think I put that in my supply list. Yeah, these butterflies that look more rainbowy would be really great for a pet sympathy card. That would be really nice, Deborah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, and make sure if you go to shop with Altenew that you use my affiliate link. That will be in the description. That will also be the one that Rachel's putting in the thing. Trying to see where we are. Let me do something really quick. Yeah, the bigger stamp wheel, I showed this in that reel. Kim, did you see my reel? It is really fun to use in my reel and in my live. I've been playing with this a lot because I've been making some reels for Altenew, and I've been doing them all on the stamp wheel because I know this is expensive. I know it's an expensive device, but it is so useful to me, and I use it in almost every single card. So I highly recommend stamp wheel, especially the 2.0, because you can take the edges off, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So we're going to do some leaves on this background, and I'm going to use this new color to me. It's called Marble Dust. It's real light green. Oh, Kim, you didn't see it? Okay. All right, so I'm going to use this Marble Dust, and I'm just going to do some just quick stamping. I'm not going to worry if it doesn't cover completely. Like I said, this isn't my favorite white cardstock. This is just kind of extra white cardstock, but I really like how it turned out. So I may only do one layer, I may do two, but we're just going to add some color to it. And then we're going to use the excess that we have to just create some more like mixed media kind of look. Okay. And then we'll get our, so sometimes I like how that looks. Now I've got extras, so what I did is I kind of rotated it and just did whatever was extra on my stamp, I added a little bit to it, and it just made some dots in little areas, kind of rotated just to get any extra ink off, just to give it a little bit more excitement. See how we got some here? Just getting a little bit more color down. Also keeps you from wasting any ink. Okay, so we've got kind of our look here that looks a little mixed media, but all I did was circle my wheel and just use up all the ink. And yes, I know that they're not perfectly covered in, but I kind of like that look for this mixed media. So I'm going to see, I see a little bit of ink on this one that might work. Just make sure we got all of it off that one too. Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is going to be our background, and we're going to put a big sentiment on it. I love this set. It's called Creative Labels. Oh, I love this set. I love the fonts on this set. So hang on. Let's clean off our stamp real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. I don't mean to make you want it so much, but it is a great one. It's so nice. If y'all didn't see my live showing how it, like some of the features of it, then that's on Instagram. It looks like a reel, but it's actually a full 1.5 hour live. So make sure you see that. It's got the replay on there. And then today, of course, make sure if you're going shopping with Altenew that you use my link. If you haven't done it and you've been meaning to, make sure you're signing up for the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit. It's going to be awesome. We are going to have pre-recorded sessions for the free ticket, and then there are going to be live Zoom sessions I'm doing one where I'm organizing my paper. And so there are lots of things. So look at this font. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it just seems like, Deborah, I actually thought, did I say that out loud? That I thought that the angels and butterflies kind of seem similar? They're just wispy and beautiful. I don't know if I said that out loud or not, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, let's get we need some black paper, and I'll let this dry just a minute, and then we'll stamp our hello on there. I want to make sure I've got it laid out how I want to before we stamp that. So let's emboss I wonder if that's going to stay. Hang on. Let's emboss our butterflies. And what I'm going to do is emboss the top layer. So these are my layers. And then we're going to emboss it. Have y'all seen this? This embossing folder, Textured Blocks. It is one that has all different things. So you can emboss your butterflies different on each one. So I'm going to go I'm going to use the raised side and put them on here. So I'm going to take it, we'll put this little guy here. So they'll all have a slightly different pattern to them, which looks really neat. So I'm just going to put them in those 3 sections. You see how there's different patterns to each one? It's just an interesting embossing folder that really is nice. Oh, that's so awesome, Deborah. Okay, so I'm going to put this through the embossing thing as well. All righty. So tell me, is this your first time seeing me live? If anybody's first time, will you please pop it in the chat for me? If you know how many times you've been live, then pop it in there. Even if you guess, I'm just curious. I want to see what kind of range we have. How many of my live events or live streams have you attended, do you think? Just give me a number in the comments. Okay. Oh man. Sometimes I like to peek before I reveal it. Oh good, Crafty Ladybug, glad to have you. We have lots of fun here. You got to see this reveal, okay? Look at these butterflies. Can you tell? Look at how they got that texture on them. So nice. And that's going to be the top layer, so you're going to see that texture. Oh, welcome. I don't know how to say your name, but okay, a few. Awesome. What is the name of the leaf stamp set? The leaf stamp set is called Leafscape. Oh, Donna, 5 or more times. Awesome. I saw some other first time lives. Who was that? Oh, Eileen. Nice. I'm so glad. So glad to have you here. Okay, I think we had it like this one, this one, this one, or did we mix them up? This one. I feel like we had it like that maybe. Okay, now we can put those together. I do need to grab some black paper because we're going to do some black centers. But you see how they've got that nice watercolor paper embosses so well. Awesome, Deb. Yeah, so it's just, you know, you could use the embossing folder and do a whole page and it gives you all kinds of different shapes. I used this embossing folder and used the whole thing in a sympathy card that I did. So if you are interested in this embossing folder, make sure you see it. I think it's called, I think the name of it's something like Texture something or another, and it looks so cool over like a stenciled image. Very good, very good. All right, so let's get some black paper, which I hope I have close. I might have to go grab that to the side. So while I'm getting black paper, nice. Thank you. Second time. Yes, awesome. Well, I'm having a Saturday live soon too. So if y'all work and this is a hard time to make, that will be a good thing. I've got to grab my black paper, which means I have to go right over here. Got brushed black. Let's see how many blacks I've got. Well, we're going to end up going brush black because that's all I see. So we need a little bit of black just to cut out the, sorry, just to cut out the little bodies of our things here. Sorry. So to cut this out, I'm going to use a black. And I found this kind of sparkly black. This is from Spellbinders. We're going to use that. Altenew has a great black. I just can't seem to get my hands on it fast enough, and I forgot to bring it over here. So this is the one that was the closest to me. So that's what we're going to use. So we got this black kind of sparkly look. Let's get those done, and then we're going to assemble our butterflies, and we'll put our beautiful sentiment on. So these are the leaves that we used, called Leafscape. We're working with the zero waste butterflies. It's called Fluttering Fantasies. And we got now some little bodies of our butterflies that we can put on here. All right. So what do y'all think about this kind of loose, free watercolor? Do you prefer to do watercolor that's real detailed, or let's go with, I'm trying to make it easy for you to answer. Let's do yes or no. Do you prefer detailed watercolor? How about yes or no? Do you prefer it to be more detailed, or do you like this loose watercolor that I did? I know that, sorry, I'm having trouble formulating that question. Okay, so now we can take our butterflies and get them put together. I know I left my glue on. So now it's leaking out. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, where I try to just press the center down and then leave my little butterfly wings up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to kind of pull those up, let that dry. I need to wipe off my glue. Loose. Okay, people do. Yeah, I really like the loose as well, just because it's so much easier. I mean, if I was, you know, there's some amazing watercolorists at Altenew, and if I had that talent, I'm sure I'd like to do a lot of detail, but to me, it just gets a little bit stressful trying to create something like that when it's not one of those things that I just absolutely love. So I really love the loose watercolor. And it really, you can kind of stretch your paper by creating your own colors with it. You can do so much. If you understand what blends and makes what color, you can really make almost any color with just very few watercolors, which is really cool. Okay, so let's put our centers on our butterflies. Need my tweezers for that. And some of these little bodies are different sizes, just FYI. I don't think it matters, but I like adding the black center because it really shows off the colors to me. So, see what I mean? Like, it just kind of really emphasizes the color, although I think this body is just a little bit too small. Let's go with a little bit bigger one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not Bob Ross either. Whew. He's amazing. He was amazing, I'm going to say. I know he's not around anymore, but he was amazing. What, like, an inspiration to the art world to be like, you know, art is important. A lot of people think it's silly, but I love it. I think it's like almost like therapy to create something from scratch. And I think it's something that is really, you know, people are always like, oh, you know, you can buy a card, whatever. Well, you know, the more that things get like AI and techie, the more I think people appreciate something that's actually handmade. I think they're just more and more amazed. So I think it's a good time to be a card maker, because I saw something the other day. It was like, the only thing that people want is something original. They don't want just AI. So we got lots of people who love cards. Okay, look at that. Okay. So now we got these. Let's look at it with our background, and we will stamp this beautiful, beautiful sentiment. So for my sentiment, I did hello, but let's look at these little things and see if we decide we want to do something else. We'll see what we feel like. Gotta make sure these can fit. I did a little bit bigger than I did on the original. Hang on. So let's just make sure I can fit them all. I probably should take a little bit smaller one. Yeah. Let me see if we got a smaller one. Maybe we should do like a little bitty one right here, because he doesn't fit great. Sorry, bear with me. when you're playing with colors sometimes. Yeah, that one fits better. So let's give this guy just a little bit of embossing and we'll do it that way. And then what sentiment's gonna fit now that we got bigger butterflies? Probably have to go with what we can fit. And it's okay if they overlap a little bit. Big hugs looks like it fits pretty good. Look at that beautiful sentiment. Yeah, let's go big hugs. You could almost get thank you, but you're gonna have to have a little bit more of your butterflies hanging off. This is still a little bit smaller than an A2, but I think big hugs is our safest option. So let me go ahead and get that ready, and then we'll add our other edge. So we're gonna go big hugs. You could put something else with it if you wanted to. This is from the stamp set. This is a great stamp set. I love this stamp set because I love these fonts, called Creative Labels. Yeah, decision making for sure. Sometimes I'm just like, well, what are we gonna do here? And I know I've got everything laid out right here, but I'm just gonna, because I've got it laid out and I know where big hugs fits, I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp it. That might mean that my butterflies move around a little bit, but we'll do a quick little stamp with some black ink. And we're gonna add a lot of sequins to this too, because I don't know if y'all know, but Altenews got some new sequins and I thought some of them looked really good with this. Okay, so we'll do big hugs. Yeah, I love this stamp set. It's called Creative Labels, I think is what it was called. I'm gonna stamp it twice just to be safe. It's a great stamp set. Look at how good that looks. Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. I'm actually super, super, super loving this. Okay, love these colors. Okay, let me get this off and then we will just do a quick emboss of that other one that we had here. Where did I put the other part that I was gonna emboss? Okay, I'm gonna look to you. Does anybody know where I put that other butterfly? Did it fall on the ground? I don't know where it went. I'll look in a second. Y'all, I'm gonna wait on y'all. Who saw it go somewhere? Who saw it go? Where did it go? This is like find the butterfly in the nest of craziness over here. So I'm gonna see if any of you saw where that butterfly went. What did I do with it? So I was gonna emboss him, and then I started stamping. Okay, so let's emboss him in, maybe we'll try, so we did that like kind of crackly one. Yeah, let's do the crackly one. Anybody see where the butterfly went? Under? It's not under the stamp wheel. I thought it might have gotten stuck to it, but we'll just pick, oh, here he is. Here he is. He was sitting off to the side. Okay, so let's do, I think this one was the one that we had had. Let's try that one. So I'm gonna put him right here in this little section and I'm just gonna send him through right here. It flew away. That's a good one. Cheery. Okay, yeah, he flew away. He flew away. My butterflies are coming to life on the live stream. Oh man, sorry, I'm just gonna lean down and do this on the floor. So that's one thing with my desk. It's hard to fit an embossing machine on my desk. Okay, let's look at how this goes. All right. Oh, that looks good. He is gonna look adorable right there. Okay. So we're using the embossing from Texture Blocks is what it's called. So just, and I haven't stuck these down here yet, so hang on. Let's stick them down. Might actually just set this over here. So when I ask where my other butterflies went, that's where they went. They flew away over on the stamp wheel. Okay. So y'all tell me, what of these things have you tried? What technique are you most excited to try? Loose watercolor, embossing on vellum, embossing on your watercolor. Which one is the most exciting to you from this live stream? I love hearing that. Uh-oh. Sorry, I hope y'all can't hear my dogs barking. One of my kiddos left them in. And they are barking like crazy because everybody's out walking their dogs. We got some nice weather here in Tennessee. Yeah, embossing some of your die cuts. Okay, loose watercolor. Whoops. He did not stick on there, did he? I will say this, this shinier paper is a little harder to stick down. When I grabbed that black paper, just a little bit harder to get it to stick. Okay, now here's my extra that we decided was a little bit too big. So that one's gonna fly away. He's gonna go over to the side and sit in the bin. And then let's lay this card out. I'm gonna take it off the sticky mat. No, I'm not gonna take it off the sticky mat. I'm just gonna leave it on the sticky mat and glue things down. Here we go. We'll start with our itty bitty here. That way we can make sure it all fits. Okay, he can go right there. And then this, I do think this would be a great card for like the rainbow bridge for a dog or for anybody who needs some big hugs. How about that? I know he's going to stick off just a little bit. That's okay. We can layer them because they have a little bit of movement. And I cut this card base is not exactly an A2. It actually has a little bit of extra space. So I think overlapping them is kind of cute. See if I can get it to stick. Still might need a little bit bigger envelope because that one is kind of big. Let's go right here. Okay. Now let's carefully remove this. Make sure that stays. There we go. All right, and you could kind of like bend these up even more if you wanted to. But now I'm going to add some sequins because why not? I mean, it looks like it just needs some sequins around it. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that y'all have fun when we're doing these because it's just, you know, it's just kind of relaxing to come in and enjoy it. Let me find my sequins. Okay, now Altenew has some great new ways to store sequins, but these were some of the first that they came out with. So I just put them all in a jar. So there's all different sizes in this jar. Hang on, sorry. Looking for something to put them in. I'll use one of these. I'm just going to spread them out in here so that I can decide what sizes I want to pick up because there are so many different sizes. And if you use a little coffee filter, those big hugs, yep. Yes. Okay, let's put down some of these. Doing these, sometimes using like a wax tip thing will help, but I'm just going to kind of lay out a few of these and see what we think here. And you don't have to be real specific with it, but I kind of can get picky about my sequins sometimes. The reason I chose these, you see how they have kind of like a pinkish look to them? I think that those are really cute. So I'm going to kind of take up some space here. Let's see what other sizes we got. Boom. We like some space here. Let's see. And then I'm going to come in with some smaller ones. Just kind of take them around. So 1, 2, 3. Let's actually put this guy over here. And I'm just kind of taking up space in between because sometimes just the empty space I like to add some little sparkle to. The other thing you could do is you could add these sequins on the wings. Like we could create a cool little pattern with our sequins. Oh, that would look cute. So I'm just going to do a couple up there. All right, now I'm just going to pick them up and put a little bit of glue on them, and then this card will be done. While I'm gluing, let's see. Tell me what your favorite embellishment is. Is it sequins, pearls? What's your favorite way to embellish something? If you're going to use something sparkly, what do you tend to grab? Thank you. Sequins, pearls, jewels, yeah. Do you tend to do things that, like, I know the pearls, sometimes they already have some, it just depends, but sometimes they have a little bit of adhesive on the back. But sometimes I fight with that even more than something like this, where I think I've got 2. Sometimes I fight with the adhesive more than I do with the glue. This one's so small, it's hard to get off. There we go. 2 more. Don't know yet. Stickles, yeah, Stickles is really a nice way to add some glitter. It's quick and easy. And it's a really pretty glitter. It's like a glitter glue, if you don't know what that is. Jewels, gem sparkles. I tend to be a sequin person because sometimes I just feel like the gem sparkles depends on, like, you really got to be specific on the color and they need to look good with the card. And I feel like sequins are a little bit more transparent, so they give you just a little bit more options. So I'm going to take all of these, we'll see if I can do this on camera and not spill them. I'm just going to take my coffee filter and dump it back into the jar. That way we're good. Now, does it go that way every single time? Yeah, they do curl up to one side. I always put the flat back on there. See if you can see that. They do have a little bit of a curve to them, so I kind of glue it from the flat part. So I'm still going to put a black backer on this, but let me show you the original card versus this card and let's vote, okay? So I'm still going to I'm going to mat it with black like this one. But tell me which one's your favorite, number 1 or number 2? Just pretend like this one's on a black mat. Number 1 or number 2? While you do that, I'm going to work on getting some things together over here. Number 1 or number 2? Which one did we decide? This one's number 1. This one's number 2. Which one's your favorite? So this one's more orange and yellows. I did just a smidge of green, and we did a smaller sentiment, and I did smaller butterflies. So, but I did emboss them all with the texture right here. So all of the top layers are embossed on both cards. It's a little harder to see on my little bitty one. And then I used the same sequence, a little different sentiment, and we'll see what y'all think. So this one's a little more rainbowy. This one's a little bit more pink, and it's got a little green, pink and yellow, and a little bit of green. Okay, I see a lot of 2s, see some 1s. All righty, So keep on voting because I'm curious on that one. They're very similar. I'm just curious what you think. And what do y'all think about that sentiment? Oh, I love it. I love that sentiment. Sorry, with all these allergies, I'm gonna have to take some drinks. Okay, that's looking good. And yes, I see a lot of people who are sequins. I saw quite a few that were gems and all that. So thank you. Keep on voting. If you're in the replay, vote with me as well. And you'll see all these on social media, of course. But you can see that using the bigger butterflies, they're definitely hanging off a little bit more. I'm going to put that mat around it, but still I might need a little bit bigger envelope because this one hangs off. This one I used a little bit smaller ones. Yeah. I love both these sentiments. Those are both from the same set called Creative Labels. It's a great set. Kim says 1.5 again. That's what she says when she can't decide, I guess. All right, so here's what we've made so far. We got these two. Hold on, have to reach these other two. And these two. Now we're gonna switch directions and we're gonna look at the card that I made in the Instagram live yesterday. So we got all of these. This was the original. This is when we added the vellum, that we used that spare piece of vellum and we embossed it. I'll show you all these at the end as well, but I want you to see that. And then this was the original with the embossed texture and a little bit smaller butterflies. And then this is the one that we made here that's a little bit more rainbowy, but still has that embossed texture on it. Don't worry, I'll show them all to you at the end as well. And if you're just popping in, make sure that you use my link if you're going to go shopping at Altenew, that we do have a watercolor brush set that's 40% off with my code. This is another thing from the new release, and this is what we're going to use today because we made this with in my live stream. Sorry. So we used a couple things. I'm going to do this handmade kindness, and we kind of voted in the live stream, trying it out with gold. So I used the gold Mayan gold relief paste on this one and just kind of spread it around. This one is perfectly plain. This is just the colored cardstock. So we got these two options. And then we used the Altenew stamp wheel to stamp this humongous image. And I've already started fussy cutting it, but this humongous image. And then we used the stencils on it during that live stream on Facebook and Instagram, colored in all the stencils. So if you need all those colors, don't worry, that's in that live stream if you want to see it. And then what's really hard to see, but looks super cute and feels amazing on these, is we use the gold paste on the teeny tiny little buds there. Can you see that gold paste? It actually sticks up, you can feel it. And it just gives it just a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a card around these. A lot of people really liked the purple background, and I'm gonna fussy cut a little bit while we're here. But what I was thinking about doing, and you tell me what you think, I was thinking about attaching this so that it opened. I thought about having like a couple of layers that you could open and look inside. So I need to do a little bit more fussy cutting. So let's vote on that. Do we create a card that opens up and we put like a little sentiment or something here? Or do we create like a little band around it and put a nice sentiment in the middle? And let's just kind of think about that while I'm fussy cutting. So tell me, do we just put our flowers on, or do you want me to try to get it where it opens? And by try to get it where it opens, there's no promises in the live stream that I get this right, but I think I can do it. I think I can. I think I can. It does work best on you. You really have to have the large stamp wheel, I think, to do this. So I'm going to finish fussy cutting this little spot. And because it's so huge, it doesn't have a die, which is probably good because a die this big would cost a lot of money and maybe not be worth it if you can just fussy cut it. All right, so while I'm doing that, have we voted purple or blue? Let's vote purple. I see it open. Yeah. Oh, somebody's been to Japan. Did you get to see the cherry blossoms in Japan? How cool would that be? I am dying to go to Japan. Just going to tell y'all that. One day, I'm going to do it. I really want to see all their art stores. Okay, so we could try to make this where it like bends around and you could open. I kind of think I could do that. Boom, boom. And it looks pretty cool on there. What do you think about that purple? Is that purple okay? It looks kind of nice. And then I thought I might put one like, which one could we do? And then we could put something in the middle. Hang on. So the other thing that we did is we saved our paste yesterday. Let me show you. We saved the extra paste that we used, and we're going to cut out a sentiment. So what I'm kind of thinking is we put our flowers here. We have a sentiment maybe on a belly band in the middle, or maybe just stuck on the middle. I'm trying to decide how that's going to be. And then we have a flower here. Maybe you can have like hide something under here and here, or we could just have the bottom open. What do you think? Because I think I could wrap this around and it could open. Just don't know if I need a second one or not. And then we can cut a sentiment. Let's see what sentiments we got here. Let's see what will fit on that. Could do a nice hello. That would definitely fit. Just a note would probably fit. These I think are too big. Well, the hello might work. And then I've got some other that are like, that are a little bit too big, I think. I think Versatile Greetings 3 is too big. Look how big those words are. And I've only got this little piece right here, so. This one's the Sakura, I don't know how you say that, Sakura stamp. So I'll call them cherry blossoms because I can't pronounce that. Awesome. So wrap an acetate cover. Okay, that works, Gina. All right, so let's go ahead. We do need to do a little bit of fussy cutting, so we'll just chat while I fussy cut. The stamp set is called, here it is, hang on. Let me just show it to you. Well, where did I put the whole stamp? This is how it's spelled. Because I know I'm not saying it right. And then the stamp set's massive. Where is the stamp set? Might not have gotten it out. Here it is. Here's the stamp set. Look at how big that is, like 8.5 by 11. So this is it. It's called, this is the 12th anniversary set. And it even has a separate section right here that they've got an embossing folder for. Okay. All right, so let's do some die cutting or some fussy cutting. You think it needs 2? Let's vote on 1 flower that opens or 2. Let's go hello. Hello fits. Could put just a note up here. That fits. We'll vote on that in just a second too. So I'm going to take away the blue because we voted purple. Okay, I see 1. Because if we do 2, it's going to have to be kind of small. One that opens, a second that's flat. Okay, so let's cut out this section right here. That's what I'm going to do. And we'll have that as our flat one. And look at all these flowers I still have to make cards with. Like I can make an entire flowery one. Okay, so this one will be our open one. And I think I can just score it and probably have it open. If I need to add a little bit of something to there, I can. Do you want me to color in between the flowers and make them purple? I did get out a Copic marker. that I could color. You see where the flowers are white in between where I can't do that? I've got this purple that'll kind of make it blend. This is BV02. If you want me to color that middle part, let me know while I'm doing this. So say color, yes or no. That's perfectly fine, Rachel. Rachel's gonna go, so she's gonna pop in lots of links. So y'all will have them. Everything will be in the description if she didn't get it in there. But say thank you, Rachel, everybody. I so appreciate her doing that. I know if you have to run, you can always watch the replay if you want to see this last card or if you just want to watch again. Either way. I just thought I had a little time today and I'd go a little bit further. So I figured we'd make 3 instead of 2 cards. Thanks for saying thanks to Rachel. She's really a big help to all of us in this. Love it when it just decides to pop on like that. Sometimes it just likes to get a little picture of me. All right, let's go ahead and vote on which sentiment we want to use while I'm cutting. So we've got hello, which is this smaller one, or we have just a note. And just a note could probably fit right in the middle. It does cover up more of the flowers, but it could probably fit on this one. Or we could stick the hello right here in the middle and put our second flower up here. Let me see how we're going to put these flowers on too. If I put them on like that, it could be almost like it's overlapped and then we put just a note on there. Yeah. Y'all tell me. I see a hello. Tell me if you want just a note or hello. And then we will play with putting this card together because, like I said, I'm just kind of making it interactive and flying by the seat of my pants trying it out. So I haven't tried this card yet because I just made all of this stuff yesterday in the live stream. It's a really fun set to color though. It's got great stencils, so nice. And you can kind of keep it pretty easy. Okay, so I see just a note. Put the sentiment under the flowers that open. Okay. Hello. Yes. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it, y'all. You have a good weekend. I thank you for being here. And make sure, too, if y'all haven't done it yet and you're thinking about signing up for the Paper Crafters Get Organized, that you use my link for that, okay? It's a really fun summit. It's going to be a lot of interactive, a lot of lives. If you like lives or need somebody to help you organize your craft stash, it's going to be a fun one. Knowing I might color in some of these sections, I'm just kind of going as quick as I can on this fussy cutting. So let's see, just a note, if it's under the flowers. Okay, what if I do, yeah, what if I do one that's over the flowers and one that's under the flowers? Or you think I should just go under? Okay, almost done fussy cutting it. So we'll get our plan here. Okay, so we'll say that this one is kind of here. What do you think? About right there. About right here. I think I should cut those stems off. Yeah. Okay, that way this one will open and it won't mess with that, but I could also put it a little bit lower and it could go here. Okay, here's how I've got it set up. Sorry, that just flipped on again. It loves to do that, doesn't it? Just don't put it on, not on top of the flowers. Got it. Okay, so let's see let's see if we can get it to work where it's going to bend around here too. I am also going to do, so whenever you emboss a piece of paper and you're adding paste and all of that stuff, sometimes it's just a little bit warped. So I'm going to put some thick foam double-sided adhesive on the back of this just to make it flat. And that'll give us a little bit more area to stick things to as well. Ooh, that might actually need to be slightly smaller. Okay. Okay. Okay, cut the stems off the top portion of the flower. I will do that. Okay, see how that makes it so much flatter? It's nice and flat. Okay, so let's go ahead and do just a note, and we'll put it underneath right here because it's going to fit perfectly under there. So we'll have just a note. Let's cut it out of this extra piece of paste that I used. I love it when I use my extra paste and I'm able to make my own gold cardstock. Super fun. So I'll cut out just a note. I think I might put the shadow behind just a note as well. Let's see. Okay, let's see how this turns out. When you cut through paste, just be cautious as you take it out of there because it is a little sticky. So let's see how this looks. Need to get some scraps off the page. Thank you, Tina. Okay, so definitely stems cut off, everybody says. Okay, here's how this beautiful gold looks. Isn't that pretty? Love how that looks. Do you have like a go-to card type for like an interactive card? Oh, look, that looks good. That might not even need anything behind it. I'm going to hold on to the top of the J right here so that I don't lose it. Stick that right there with this. We'll cut those little limbs off. And then we also said we were going to kind of color in between that just to not be able to see the white, which should be pretty quick and easy. See what I mean? It looks purple. So I'm just going to color the white areas really super fast. Shouldn't take but a second. Okay, number two. Yes, thank you. So I'm going to color this. If you've got a marker that works, you can pretend like it's all cut out. It's just kind of a little trick to look like it's cut out. And you can do it pretty quick. There's not that many spots that are white. I also like it to go along the edges because sometimes you get, when you're fussy cutting, you get little white spots, and so you can kind of take that purple along the edges too. It just makes it look a little bit more professional. If you don't have any markers, don't worry. The white spots are not the end of the world. I was just trying to get a certain look. It's hard to color and watch. Let me go down. Okay, so we'll definitely do just a note. Let's vote vellum or no vellum behind that just a note. Do you think it needs vellum to show up? Or you think just leave it like it is? because I can put a little vellum behind it back there too. It will raise it up just a little bit more, but I think it can be doable if you think that needs to be done. I do want to make sure you're not coloring in on the really light pink. I was like, wait, is that pink? Okay, I think I got all my purples done. Now you see I'm going to go along the edges where it's white and just make sure that that white doesn't stick out by just running my marker over the edge. You see what I'm doing there? And that way it looks like it's cut out of like purple paper, which I think looks really cool. It's kind of like a little trick there. And just running it along the edge. It also keeps you from having to be too neat with your fussy cutting. Okay, let's use a scoreboard and see if we can get this card working based on my current vision. It may not work based on my current vision, but let's see if we can get it there. I'm going to cut those stems off. What did we say? Vellum under it? Yes to vellum? Okay. Yeah, that would look good behind the gold. I'm going to have to take a sip of something, sorry. Okay, I've got one no vellum I see. I see a lot of people trying vellum. Okay, cool. Oops, sorry. All right, let's see if we can get it working, and I will cut out the vellum for this. I'm going to use my scrap piece of vellum over here and just cut just a note out of it. So remember, hang on to those scraps if you think you might use them again. And we can use that little piece very easily, especially when it's something like vellum. Oh, you don't need big pieces of vellum most of the time, so it's pretty easy. So let's cut out our just a note shadow. And then I'm going to get the scoreboard out and we'll see what we want to do here. All right, and I promise we're not going to be too much longer if y'all are having to go. Don't worry about it. You can always catch this part on the replay. So we got our little shadow. We can put just a note on it. And that's going to be right there underneath. Okay, we have a good plan. All right, don't lose the dies. It's like some kind of tornado hit when I finish a live stream. Let's see. So y'all tell me what part of this so far has been your favorite, butterflies or the cherry blossoms? Like what's your kind of exciting thing out of it? I'm cutting the stems off because people said cut the stems off. And also, have y'all followed me on Instagram and Facebook? And make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Please do that. And if you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up because that helps people find this on replay, which helps all of us out. More people get to see it, and it just is exciting. Okay, so I've taken the stems out. I'll need to add some purple to this one. So taking the stems out now. Let me go ahead and add the purple and put down this little level so that we can be sure where our next opening is. And we'll use a scoreboard, and I'm just kind of rigging this what's in my head. So no promises it's definitely working, but I think we can make it work no matter what. Butterflies are your favorite, yeah. I agree. I think the butterflies are my favorite, although I really do love these pink flowers, and I love how many this set makes, because if you're going to make a lot of cards, it's really nice. But yes, the butterflies, it's hard to top butterflies, isn't it? They're just so cute, and they've got so many possibilities with those, with watercolor, with embossing, with vellum. I mean, you can just layer and layer with glitter cardstock. We use glitter cardstock on them. That looks amazing. They would be great if you were a good colorist, if you like to color with Copic markers and you could make little designs on them. I also liked the idea of putting the sequins on them because it gives them just a more 3D look. Okay, we got all of our little areas here colored in with purple. That one was a little faster. I'm going to go around the edges. Yeah, I like the flowers too. I'm gonna go with, it's hard for me to pick anything that I love more, but I do love butterflies. So tell me, have you bought anything from the Altenew Renew release? If so, would you set your eye on? I like to ask that because sometimes I find things that I don't have and I need to get ordered myself. So tell me what your favorite thing so far from the new release is. If you've been paying attention, if you're an Altenew fan. And then I'll remind you too, coming up next Saturday, I'm doing the Facebook fan takeover and we're going to be on YouTube. Ooh, that looks good. That looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Probably glue it like right about there. See how that purple makes it look like you can see through these flowers? Oh, love it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick this one down and then we'll work on our moving part. It is normal for Copic markers to bleed through. You see how you can see some of that purple? That's okay. And I would advise using double-sided adhesive when you're sticking something to an embossing folder because you've got to get it stuck to the raised up area, and I feel like the double-sided adhesive does that easier than glue because the glue will kind of seep through everything else and you don't get as good of a hold. Oh yeah, I haven't used that one yet either, Jan. I have lots of ideas for it, but I haven't gotten it yet. She's got the one, it's a little horse, like a carousel horse, which is something a little different for Altenew, and I'm trying to decide how I'm going to use that. I think it's going to be really cute. I think it might have to be like a unicorn or something. Okay, so we got this one stuck down. Now we know where this is going to go. Let's get out our scoreboard, and we're going to make ourselves a little flap here. I think I'm going to approximately go just so I've got a little bit of a flap. Let's go like, it's kind of still angled that way. Okay, I'm going to go about right here. So I'm going to make myself a little dent on it so I can kind of look. And then we will try just scoring a little bit of it. Let's see what happens when we do that. So you can't really angle it. I want to do it like right at the bottom, but you just can't. You have to have more of an angle to do that. Like right here, maybe. Okay, what about like that? Let's see how that goes. And it'll open. Okay, let me make that a better fold. Okay, let's see, make sure just a note still fits underneath it. Yeah, it's still gonna fit under there, cool. Okay, let's get that stuck on there and we'll see how it goes. So this is already an adhesive on the back. So I'm just gonna fold back and expose it because it's a double-sided foam adhesive. So I'm gonna go ahead and expose that and then we'll line it up how we want to and stick it there. And then where it folds over, I'm just gonna trim it off. Okay, so now we have an opening flap. Ooh. Okay, and I'll cover this part up and we can put just a note on. Alrighty, it's gonna look cool. So let's add this. Okay, so is anybody out there going to the Simon Says Create event? Tell me yes or no. Oh, the discount code, so there's a link in there that you can put and it'll automatically add it, or you can use my just general affiliate link and add Nicki, spelled Nicki, live 6. I believe this is number 6. And that will give you the code as well. Jelly, if you're able to put that in the chat, that would be awesome too. If you can just write it out for them, what the coupon code is. If she's still there, I know she's in a whole different time zone. So who knows? So I'm not going. Anybody going to Simon Says Stamp Create? Oh, also I had an announcement too I need to do. Hang on. This one's kind of a sad one. So I know a lot of you, if you've been in lives with me, you know that I've done some lives and I really love your Paper Insider. It's a subscription of paper, but you can also buy paper from them. I just found out that they are going out of business. So that being said, if you like your Paper Insider, which has all kinds of different glitter papers and things like that, on April 15th, they are doing a sale off the entire store until they're sold out, and then they're out of business. So if you want to mark it on your calendar, in 5 days, they are doing a clearance sale. So it's yourpaperinsider.com, and I'm telling you, their paper is amazing. I'm so sad they're going out of business. It's just another small business that we're losing in the craft industry. So I wanted y'all to know, help them buy out their store. Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie. Was I not? I think I was okay to, oops. Yeah. Yeah, it was sad. They do have the best paper. Oh, Carrie says, I don't know if you were, I emailed them back and told them I was going to announce it, and they didn't say not to. Sorry. Sorry. Hopefully y'all know that. If not, FYI, sorry about that, your Paper Insider. But they said it was fine, so I think we're okay. Okay, now we got our Just a Note glued together. We can put that right here. Ooh, that's gonna look good. Now, to seal this, I'm gonna do little bitty strips because, like I said, if you are gonna put something on a raised up embossing folder, you really need to use a double-sided adhesive, which can get really tricky when you got really small letters like that. What's the link for, tell me what she's talking about. What's the link? Yeah, they sent an email, so I think it's okay to say that they're going out of business. And I sent her an email back and was super sad. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Just tell people that's what's happening. So I don't have that link will not be, it's called Your Paper Insider. And the link, they will not have affiliate links at that point because they're clearing out their store. So it doesn't matter if you use my link on that one. I just want to help them out if they're going to be, maybe they'll come back one day. That would be nice. So if you haven't seen their stuff and you're curious, I have at least 2 or 3 lives that I did with their paper. It's Paper Too Pretty to Cut is one of the names of the lives. The Prettiest Paper Ever is another name of a live. If you want to see what I'm talking about and you're interested in grabbing some of it, then definitely check those out. Those are under the live tab of my channel. And then if you're looking for the Altenew coupon code for today, it's 40% off the watercolor brushes, specific set. So that's why we gave you the link. But the code, I think Jelly put it in there. If not, it'll be in the description or it's earlier in the chat where Rachel put it. Yes, Gloria, Your Paper Insider. Let me see if I've got something that actually says that. So I know it's hard to sometimes understand what somebody's saying. Okay, let's make sure this is going to cover this up. Okay. All right, now we got it. Look at this. So that's a pretty good, like, interactive on the fly card. I'm kind of impressed. Look at that. Okay, so boom. Just a note. This one doesn't open, but this one does. I know. I really hate we're losing the crafty companies too. Yeah. Carrie put it in there. Yes, it's your paper insider. Let me see if I got anything back here. I'd show it to you. But look at how cute that looks. Awesome. Tell me a supply. I've also been wondering about this for videos. Tell me a supply that you bought that you have not used yet and see if I need to try to make you a video on it. Look at how cute that is. Oh my goodness. I may trim off these little edges. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Just to make sure that it fits in an envelope. Okay. I'm going to trim that spot off. But you see how that purple looks so good? It looks like you're seeing through it. So just open it up. Boom. That's just a quick little easy one to do. And you could even tie like a little ribbon around it if you wanted it to stay closed. And then when they open the ribbon, it goes like this. And I'm still going to put a card back on it so that I can write in it. And then I'm going to make sure I stabilize that a little bit. I mean, it's got a small stem, so it's not going to be a huge thing. You could put a little piece of acetate right here and here to make it kind of open a little bit more, a little bit better. White pigment ink. Oh, Marcy, I've been thinking about a video on white pigment ink. I actually had an idea on that one. Glamour machine, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put a back on it so that it'll stand up to display as well. But I think I might put a piece of acetate behind this leaf too, instead of bending the leaf over, and that way it's got two hinges so that it's just a little bit more stable. Oh, Crystal 3D Gel, I just did one of those. That's awesome. Okay, so yes, lots of fun things that we need to get out and use, don't we? Okay, let me show you what we made today. Then I'm going to show you some more things from the release in case you're interested, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So if you've got last minute questions, let me know. Have y'all tried making your own 3D like this? Or like, I guess I call it interactive flaps. Have you tried this before? It's so fun. It is so fun. And I still have, from that stamp set, I still have all these flowers. Stay tuned. These also will be on social media soon. Okay. I can't tell what she's asking there. All right, so this opens, boom, and I used the leftover paste to cut that sentiment out, and then I used paste on this. So see, it's not perfect, but it rubs the gold paste along there. I did this in the live yesterday on Instagram. Yeah, you can just think of like an easy way to start is to make a flap. Very, very easy way to get started. And for this sentiment, just a note, we used Scripty Sentiments. This is a good smaller sentiment set. It's got quite a few things in it. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit smaller, because sometimes they get just too big to fit on the card, this is a good one for that. Then we did lots of butterfly cards. So let me show you what we made today. We got our cute little flap card. We've got our big hugs. I am going to put a black on that one. And then we made this one with all of the nice vellum pieces here. We did watercolor. We created like easy watercolor with this set. It looks like it would be a lot darker, but when you spread out the colors, we use this bold ember set. This is one from Altenew. It's a recent one. So we created lots of cards, lots of cards. Is the phone backer link in the description? Gloria asked. No. So it is not in there. I will tell you that I can put it in there. If you'll give me about 10 minutes after, I can put it in the replay one and that'll make it show up. I also saw a question. What do you think about making another flap using the green leaves on the side to make the flap a little bit more sturdy? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to fold the green leaves. I think I'm going to stick a piece of acetate, which I actually got out here. I think I'm going to take a little piece of acetate so it's clear, and I'm going to make myself a little, here's what I'm going to do. I'll just do it really quick. I'm just going to cut a piece of acetate, and I'm going to attach it to the green leaves. See how it's clear? You can't see it. I'm going to attach it to those green leaves, and I'm just going to glue it right here, and fold it around, and that's going to make it a little bit more sturdy, and you can't even see it, but it's an extra flap to help make it open easy. Oh, thanks, Kim. So I'm definitely gonna do that. I'll put that one on there. We'll do that. I might even stand here and do that while y'all are asking questions, just in case there's anything else. I was gonna ask one more thing. Tell me the hardest thing in your craft room to organize. Yeah, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. We have, how many do we have? Yeah, we got like 80 still here. So I'm gonna do this little acetate flap so you can see how I'm doing it. And then I'll show you more cards just from the release in case you're interested in any more of the Altenew stuff, and then we will wrap it up. So I'm just gonna take this acetate and I'm gonna use that scoreboard and fold it. We'll just connect it and fold it. So just gonna, it doesn't matter where we fold, but we just need to make a nice fold in it. And acetate can be hard, so you'll see me pressing down. So once I make that fold, I'm gonna need to really, really press it down. Scraps, yeah, scraps. I do have a way I love to organize scraps. Yeah, embellishments take forever to organize, don't they? I love organizing them in a way, but they do take a long time. So I'm gonna put some double-sided adhesive on the front of this so it'll stick to the leaves. And I'm gonna put it right on the inside so it sticks. Actually, I don't need it on the inside because I've got adhesive on the back. Hang on. I just need it to fit this flap here. So let's take it, put it right there. Okay. And then I'll go from the back, lift up this, which has adhesive on it already. And let's see, did I do it too far? Yeah, now it's got a little bit more stable. I'm gonna actually move that just a little bit. And move it in just a little bit. So this foam backer is from, I don't know if I continued that question. I kind of lost my train of thought. The foam backer that I use on this is from scrapbook.com. Let me show you what it is. It is this. You can also use just strips of foam tape like from Altenew. It's just, it takes you a little while to get those strips completely layered up. So sometimes I'll just use a straight foam adhesive, perfectly fine. And those are, you can use my link to scrapbook.com for that. Okay, so look, now we got extra, now it's not so unsturdy. You could also make it sturdier by adding extra layers of paper right there. That looks cool. I love that. Okay, let me show you a few things from the other release. Pop up last minute questions and tell me, have you, let's see here. Do you tend to like buy a whole collection? Like, are you really into like a big kit, or do you kind of pick things up here and there? Because I would like to know how people tend to like to shop like that. Okay, let me throw these cards up and then we'll be done. These are more cards from the release so that you can just see. These aren't ones that we made today, but I just wanted to show you this. I love this beautiful tree, and I did the clear gel. Can you see that clear gel on it? I did that as the top layer, so it gives it a little shimmer. I know it's hard to tell when it's down here, but I did that. Okay, and then these flowers. This is a little embossing folder and cutting die, so it gives you those embossed, the embossed look there, and it gives you the dies that you can layer, so like a nice layering die. That one is called, don't know if that one's on my supply list. Cannot remember what it's called. I think it's called African Daisy. These are from my recent video using the clear 3D gel. Love that. Okay, so both, a lot of people do both things. They buy kits or they do that. This is also that clear 3D gel. So it's gel, it's die cuts, it's stencils. That's on my channel right now. This was the one we did I did for a reel to show off that stamp wheel and how you can do rotating stamps. These are arches, and I just made it into a circle because I thought it looked cool. This is my mixed media card. There'll be a whole video coming out about this in about a week. This was from the last release, but it was such a popular card, I just had to show you. And then these three we're gonna make on April the 18th. Okay, on April the 18th at noon, I'll be live again making these cards. This is from the new release, and you do not want to miss it. This is my possibly favorite card of the release. This one and the butterflies are my favorite. So that's just some extra cards for you. I hope that y'all have a great day. You just bought the African daisy. Yes, it is a great one, isn't it? Oh, that African daisy is so nice. I love how easy it is, and look at it on this blue background. We will talk about that blue background on the next release. I got a little confused on which release African Daisy was coming out with, so some of this card is not out yet and some of it is. Okay, that Blessed to Have You in My Life is from that Mother's Day sentiment set. So thank you on the mixed media card. I'm doing a whole video on that mixed media card, because I really had fun with that. I really did. Sorry, just seeing. Oh, thank you for watching the gel YouTube. Thank you so much. And y'all just make sure you're following me on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. That way you get all the information. If you are interested in that organization summit, you can find that on in the links below. I'll have all that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again soon. Have a great one. I'm going to pop these up while I'm looking just to make sure I don't miss any last minute questions. If you're in the replay, tell me what was your favorite card today. All right. Yeah, awesome, Maria. Thanks so much. You'll make sure you shop with my link this weekend. That coupon code ends in 2 days. I think it ends on the 12th, so just make sure you get that in there as quick as possible. Okay. All right, have a great one. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for being here. All right, bye.